I am the Headless Headhunter, a corporate recruiter here to help review your resumes to get you ahead of your job search. So the first person we have here is a power engineer, which I have not done before. It's sort of similar to an electrical engineer. I use that very loosely. They're a recent grad who's looking for an entry-level job for the 4 to 5 months. They're currently at 90 applications, 5 interviews, and 1 job offer that you did not take. That was a huge mistake because I was told by peers who graduated at the same time that it paid really bad. I would be advice on what keywords I should make to include. So let me tell you real quick, probably the title of this video is Power Engineer Makes Huge Giant Mistake, or Entry-Level Grad Makes Huge Mistake, because the hardest part of your job search forever will be getting your first 2 years. If you do not have a job and you are offered a job and it's not like 8 years away and you can do it, you should take it and then keep applying and leave when you find something that pays better. I have actually known a couple of people who have rejected a job offer or two and then they took them another year or so to get it. So if you are a fresh grad, you probably won't be paid a ton. I wish you were. I don't like the state of the economy because when the economy is bad, I don't make as much money. But I will always recommend to every single grad to take whatever job you can first. Keep applying if you don't like it. Tough it out for about a year, year and a half, and then use that to get the pay that you will get, which is going to be a lot. Now, specifically electrical engineering subdivision, which I believe this is a part of, is a pretty good market. It's pretty good. I was even looking at the jobs over there on LinkedIn. That's where I find these keywords. And there were not a lot of competition. So once you get in, you're pretty set. Now, admittedly, 90 jobs in 5 months is not enough. Your ratio is good, though, but I don't think 90 is a full... you really just need more. You need more jobs. So what we'd be looking for, and I want to say take this with a grain of salt, because again, this was kind of hard to look up because under power engineer, there were a lot of different subdivisions like other circuits and stuff I don't know about. So it's very possible that you cannot just apply to power engineer. You need to apply to like a subdivision of power engineer, and those are the keywords. But what I found were your degree, 8D, 5Y, I don't know what those are. Those are in 1 or 2. AutoCAD was needed. That was in a lot of them. And shockingly, not to me, Microsoft Excel, Word, and Access. Yes, in a lot of those jobs, even for senior ones, they had those keywords. And if they're in there, the job description, you need them. ETAP software is something similar. AC/DC was in a lot of them. And then these are sort of nice to haves. So I'm not going to focus too much on the keywords itself because, again, these might not be super correct. I do know CAD is right, Excel is right, Word is right, and then probably Python C or MATLAB and AC/DC. The rest of them are iffy. So skills, you know what? You say Excel, that's good here. Quirk, this is also what they're looking for. There's a lot here. Okay, so this is fine. This, I think, is too long. I'm not a huge fan of skill sections. They should be in the resume. Capstone project could be probably very useful because this circuit design is what I'd like to see. So the fact is this resume is so far away from what I recommend, but I do know that specifically electrical engineers and like circuit engineers, it's still a good market. So you can actually have a bad resume and still get the position. This is not the case in IT. But yeah, I would highly recommend to all new grads that you really take your first job that gets offered. If the pay is not great, doesn't matter, take it, because in a year and a half, you'll be able to command a higher salary. Well, otherwise, it's possible in a year and a half, if you don't take it, you may still be unemployed, and that's not good. So object-oriented programming, microcontrollers, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't like how this is written. I really just want like this stuff and this in bullet points and projects, but I mean, if you're getting interviews, I guess it's working for you because, again, you don't really have to care too much about a resume in that industry. But you do need to apply to more. 90 jobs in 5 months is practically nothing. Ideally, you should be applying to 50 jobs every week. That should be the average. Now, some industries, you're not going to find that as much, but on average, you should have 50 jobs a week. Here, it may be because it's a little rarer, maybe like 25 jobs a week-ish, but that's still... You know, that's like math. That's like 100 jobs in a month. So you're real behind in how much you're applying to. But the resume itself doesn't work for my normal stuff. But again, it doesn't really matter how bad your formatting is for this type of thing. If it's that not competitive, you can have a bad resume. So yeah, this is how I would like it to be written. You do need these keywords here, and they should be here, but I want to see under the specific project. But, you know, again, I don't know if you need to do it because of this industry, but we'll really see once you submit more. So hopefully this was helpful and not me just randomly rambling. But if you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Or if you want your resume reviewed, submit it below, or catch me live at twitch.tv/HeadlessHeadhunter. That is where I get these keywords from, which is a lot easier if you are with me live. That way I can make sure they're more accurate. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. for about 3 hours each PST. So that's all I can really do for this. There's just not a lot for me to hang on to do a review. So I was hoping that the whole like, hey, this is what the actual job market is, was useful. So if you like more of that content, let me know in the comments. Let's go to the next resume, which is a program manager. So that one we can find the keywords for. This is a resume of a program manager. Now, I will say these keywords I found were for the US. I did a quick look to make sure if they were accurate. This person's in Canada, and as far as I'm aware, they're the same, but you want to double check. So this person is a recent MBA in Canada looking for program project management roles. Program management and project management are different. They have different keywords. Even though there's a lot of similarities, the resume that gets you a project manager job will not necessarily get you a program manager job. You need 2 resumes, one for each. Let's see. They're not getting any calls for interviews. So the first thing is, this is a nightmare. Recruiters, and again, I don't know how Canadian recruiters necessarily work with this, even though I am currently recruiting for roles that could be in Canada. This is a nightmare. I don't care that it looks pretty. I care that I can find what I need, and I can't find anything in this. So the only thing I really care about, first off, your education should be here. It should just be 1 or 2 or 3 lines max. Then these skill sections don't matter because they need to be in here. So then we can do this, and this is what I'm going to be looking for a program manager, is your industry. Again, what they're going to want for healthcare versus IT is going to be a little bit different, but I want to see if you have a PMP cert. PMP certs are huge. They're gigantic. Microsoft Project and Visio, Microsoft 365. Yes, MS Office, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint and pivot tables. I saw a lot of jobs that had those, and if they're in the job description, they need to be in your resume. If it's not in your resume, it doesn't exist. That's the rule. Cross-functional, highly matrix organization. Basically, you worked with different teams. Stakeholder/customer management. That was in a bunch of them. And then more specifically, how you succeeded and managed multiple projects at the same time. So, accomplished expense reduction in third-party data cost by automated pipeline. Don't care about like any of this. Customers for AB experience, raw file percentage. Don't care. Design and launch AWS QuickSight. Again, I mean, maybe AWS and Python could be a keyword if this is specifically for tech, which it could be, but the rest of this is so agile. Okay, so yeah, there's like nothing here already. Again, I get 15 seconds to look at this, and in my 15 seconds, I don't see anything. So here's the thing I want you all to learn. This goes for everybody, if you're still here, not even just program managers. Your resume is not to show how good you are. It is not to show how you are better than other candidates. That is what the interview is for. The interview, you do need to prove you're better than everybody else. The resume is to show the bare minimum qualifications that you meet them. That is it. The reason marketers and graphic designers, good ones, not bad ones, good marketers, good graphic designers struggle so much to get work for full-time jobs is because they try to apply their techniques to the resume. And a resume that is a marketing document is a bad resume. A resume that is pretty and graphically designed is bad. You need to make it easy to read. You should make your resume like a form at the DMV or government. And this is why this fails, is because you're trying to focus on 32% and 18% and documentation and blah, blah, blah. When I don't care about that, I care that you meet the minimum requirements, not that you are a star. I know that flies in the face of a lot of advice you get, but it's true. When you start thinking of your resume like a governmental form, when you start realizing that its only purpose is to show you meet the minimum qualifications so you can get an interview, and the interview is where you prove you're better than everybody else. You still have to prove you're better than everybody else and stand out, but that is in the interview, not the resume. If your resume stands out, it's probably going to get rejected. So I'm like scanning this, and it's such a nightmare to find. I think here cross-functional is solid, and third-party vendors. This one right here is actually pretty good, but it's a nightmare to read. I want your formatting to look like this. There's way too much. It's so much data. Like, you're acting like the ATS can scan the keywords. They can't. Like, it's really a human that's doing this. They're going to struggle to read this in 15 seconds. They're going to get down to here or here, and then they're going to quit, and that's why you're going to get rejected, despite the fact that I'm assuming you're pretty good at this. So double check the keywords, but you really need to make the formatting easier, and you need to actually focus on the keywords that they are. Because I'm looking for this stuff. Yeah, that's why Office, Word, Excel are in a lot of stuff, is you need people to have it. And I know people are going to argue like, hey, wait a minute, Lee, what the heck are you talking about here? Everybody knows that. And no, I have been yelled at repeatedly by managers early in my career, and I made that mistake later in my career, which I'm never going to make again, that I sent people that I thought should have that. They didn't. That was a waste of the manager's time, and was a bad job at recruitment for me. So recruiters are being bad at their job if they let you through and you do not have Excel, Word, or Office, and that is on the actual job description. So that is bad recruitment to let somebody fly. If it's not on the resume, it doesn't exist. So focus on the job title. Remember, program and project manager are different. And then we can start getting you interviews. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a financial advisor / bank teller. So I did not look up the keywords for bank teller, but I did look up for financial advisor. So just to be clear, these are the keywords for financial advisor, and you're looking like, well, wow, Lee, there's like 2 keywords. And yeah, this is apparently a very hot market. I did not know about that till I was looking up the keywords for this. For financial advisors specifically, they're really only looking for your education, your FINRA Series 667, whatever these are. So this is huge. This was in most of the job postings, or the ability to obtain it. I don't know what that would be because I did not dig that deeply, but this was the biggest qualification. Your education, and you have this. These were kind of bonuses. So really, we just want to see that you have a FINRA Series 6 or 7 or 8. They had like a bunch of those. Or that you have the ability to obtain it. So that's primarily it. And this person has a 1 to 25 ratio, which is not shocking me. This is a very, very, very hot market, apparently. They were paying oodles of money. So this is another hot market I was not aware of. So let's review the actual resume. The motivated, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about this. This wasn't the cert that I've seen. But again, this was in the United States I was searching. Maybe this was like wherever they are? They're in Canada. Maybe this is the Canadian equivalent. So at least in the United States, this is a hot market. I don't like skills sections. Your education should be there, which people can't really see. So let's scroll down a little. So yeah, if you go all the way down here, which people cannot see, you will see that they had a bachelor's and a postgraduate in business management, along with a CIFC, which is Canadian Investment Fund course, and Google digital marketing. So honestly, if this is a hot market, if Canada is the same, your resume doesn't matter as much. I would still fix the formatting, but your education should be up top because that was one of the prime qualifications. Again, at least in the US, I didn't notice this was Canada until I started this review. So your education and search should be up top instead of where your summary is. Again, summaries are not needed unless you are switching industries. And the reason you put your education up top is education is a qualification, and every qualification needs to be in the first half of your first page of your resume. So, and then you can add the certs. So it's going to look like this. Education here, and then your certifications. So are these bullet points good? Probably. I mean, again, this may be a case of the bullet points don't matter if you have the certs. Oh, actually, yeah, this is really good. proactively engage with over 50 customers daily in a fast-paced environment while understanding customer needs, recommending suitable products and services, increasing upsell conversion by 50%. I actually really like that one. That's a really good first bullet point. That's why I'm not a fan of all this stuff, is it's hiding that. You're literally taking what's good and burying it. You should not have to make the recruiter search for what's good. Demonstrated leadership by supervising and coaching. You don't need to say demonstrated leadership. Just say supervised and coached. Everything should be past tense, even if this is your current job. So supervised and coached a team of 4 to 6 employees during peak shift to maintain operations and high service standards. So yeah, this is good. Played a key role in activating sale budgets. I don't need that. Just say contributed to increasing our blank revenue quarter over quarter by 12%. You're adding a lot of fluff. And again, this is probably not going to matter. I'm being very nitpicky here because, again, this is a hot market. And when you're in a good market, your resume does not matter as much. That's why people really freak out, is when they use a bad resume in a hot market, they get a job, layoffs happen, and then it's a bad market, and then all of a sudden their resume is not getting anything, and that's primarily why. So these are actually okay bullet points. I think even if the market wasn't as good, this would probably be solid, but we really do want to see the Canadian equivalent to that, whatever that is, and your education. So this is primarily a little bit of formatting, and really you can just trim off a little bit of some of these bullet points, but this is a really solid first start on it. So overall, definitely passes. Well, I assume it does based on Canada, and this is a 125. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a digital project manager. So these are the keywords for a digital project manager specifically, not just project manager. So primarily this is going to be the details about how and why you did X. This is going to be a very much you need to show us and not just tell us. Weirdly enough, WordPress was in a bunch of them. I don't know if that's going to be an extra skill or not, but it is going to be beneficial. How you made things happen. So that, again, this is how you made stuff happen rather than what you individually did. PMP, CSM, customers, stakeholders, agile, scrum, and industry. The PMP and CSM are nice to have. They are not needed, but they are big pluses. Details about team projects, such as the budget, the timeline, if you multitask multiple, and then how you used resources for success and influence people. So let's begin. This is their third iteration of this resume, and after a couple of my changes, they have gotten much more interviews, but we're going to see if we can't tweak it to get even more interviews. So let's begin. So BS in advertising, that's good. PMP, perfect. Actually, here's the weird thing. I would put your PMP above your BS. PMP is huge, and that is one of the biggest ones. So I would actually put the education still in this section, but switch it with, put it under workflow specialist, and PMP should be first. PMP is huge. If you have a PMP, you are heads and tails above the competition. So, managed over 60 projects from start to finish using agile, waterfall, and hybrid methods. Good. I don't know if we need hybrid or not, but leading cross-functional teams of 2 to 6 people, ensuring market campaigns and content series were completed successfully on time, within budget, and met all stakeholder requirements. Good. Applied agile principles to support weekly design iterations, implying feedback, high deliverables, manage change by excellent management, proposing solutions, limiting scope creep, and avoiding budget overrun. I think this one is solid. This one I'm a little iffy on. It's not like it's a bad sentence. I just think you kind of already said it here, because you kind of already did say that you had used agile. So I'm not sure if this sentence is needed or not. Secured stakeholder buy-in and engagement for implementation of project manager tools through tailored status reporting. And this is where you can put in some like keywords like using Asana or whatever, and presentation of pain point solutions, and ensuring secured stakeholder buy-in and engagement for implementation of project management tools through tailored status reports and presentation of pain point solutions, ensuring client satisfaction, resulting in the CTO adopting my Intech methods. So this is a good sentence. It is a little big. You are in chat, so we can work on refining these. And again, I'm being very picky on this one. All right, I want to be clear. This is a good resume, but I want to make it even better. Rated project management template, including library, business, charter, stakeholder registered, and Google Suites. Again, I don't know if this is needed as much. This stuff I like. Again, I'm not normally a fan of a tools use section, but there were so many different tools for this one that it might be okay. And this is kind of a case where these are okay. So would I prefer them here? Yes. But it's not the worst considering the type of industry they're here. Built to streamline workflows. Yeah. It's not bad. I think we just need to sort of tweak it a little bit. So mainly I think there's a couple of redundant sentences. You mentioned applying agile principles twice, and agile is one of those things where you just kind of have to show you've done it once typically, rather than 12 times. So that way we could also put in a couple of other stuff, rephrase this, but this is getting interviews, and I think that's good. I just wanted to get you more interviews. So that was pretty quick. You're in chat right now, so I'm going to go and help you out with this. And I will... Next resume. This is a resume review of a pharmaceutical territory manager. This is also my second review of this resume because I forgot to press record on the first one. So this is going to be pretty quick. These right here are going to be the keywords for territory manager. I will be perfectly frank. There were not enough pharmaceutical ones that I could find, and I didn't want to give you the wrong ones, but everything here should be accurate. You just need to add specifically a couple pharmaceutical stuff. This person is moving to another state. So what you want to do is essentially, instead of all this, instead of this summary right here, because I don't care about this, what I want you to do is instead say moving to X by Y date or sooner if needed. This shows that you are serious and looking to move. This person also has a 1:75 ratio, so that's like a D minus D resume. So this shows that you are willing to move, because even if you are willing to move on your own dime, you don't want any relocation assistant, it's still tough to get people to move. I personally, as a recruiter in the first part of my career, was like, oh, they're willing to move. Perfect. I'll send them in. And then what happens is by the time the offer comes, they say, no, never mind. I don't want to do it. So companies are very wary about reload, so that's why you want to state is essentially moving to X on Y. Now, you also said you were fluent in Spanish. This is huge, 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 huge. Don't bury this. What you need to do down here, right, you put your education, so switch this up top below the little summary that says you're moving, and then under this part, put fluent in English and Spanish. All right, it should look like this, and then under the citizenship, city and state, it should say fluent. Although in this case, don't put the city and state because you're moving. Then what we're going to be looking for is a valid driver's license. That is huge. B2B, Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams. Yes, it is needed. Yes, it was in job descriptions. There were jobs that were paying $100K to $200K that required Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. And if it's not in your resume, it doesn't exist. The word outside sales and previous success. So this is mostly a formatting issue, but this was solid. I really liked it. I don't know if you, there's really nothing I needed to change too much about this, but here we do need to change. Anytime you have a date besides under your education section, you need to put the month you started as well as the year. Otherwise, they are going to assume this is the worst version of this, which could be December 2022 and January and current year. So that could be the difference between 3 years and like 2 years or whatever. But here more particularly could be between like 2 to 3 months and 2 years. So always put the months. Then the second sentence is too big and is probably too incomprehensible to somebody not in the industry. So you want to shrink this down and make it a little bit easier, because I don't know what it means once you are inside. That is what you said. I don't understand it. You also should probably add some Microsoft Outlook, Words, or Excel here, but this is a good one that showcases how you succeeded. So this one's okay, and I like it, but again, your second one is kind of iffy. And then again, so mainly this is a formatting issue. You have one big mid to bad bullet point, which I think is why you're getting a 1:75. I think if you fix these, so again, use this formatting. Under education, you're going to put your driver's license. You don't have to put the number of the driver's license, just that, valid driver's license. That's all that we really care about. Then you're going to put this in 2 lines after that, which is going to be below the summary, which is just going to say specifically you are moving X, but can move earlier if needed. And then above that summary, you're going to have the specifically the fluent in Spanish. Now, I would also like something more indicative of pharmaceutical here. I don't know those keywords exactly, but it's possible they may not recognize the pharmaceutical company or assume that at that company, even if it is pharmaceutical, you did stuff like, yeah, you were the territory sales manager for like recruitment, or alternatively like the pens that they give away or something. So you do need a little bit of pharmaceutical stuff. You need the word B2B if possible, and you need Microsoft Office here somewhere. Beyond that, that's good, and that's the end of this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And if you need help getting ahead of the job search, you can join me on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST until around 2 o'clock. And I'm here to help you all get ahead of your job search. I'll see you next video.